This week, we're going to highlight the history of the price changes associated with the May supply-demand report from the USDA. We're going to take a look at crop progress and weather trends here in the U.S., take a look at crop progress and weather trends in Brazil, come back and look at export trends here in the U.S., wrap things up the long-term review of December corn futures. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the corn market. We've moved in the month of May here, and we're right in the middle of corn planting. Before we get into that, however, let's take a look at the USDA supply-demand report here in May. That'll come out on Tuesday, May 12th. Let's take a look at the history of the price changes with that report. What we did here with this chart was look at the change in July corn futures on the day that May report is released. You can see there's been a few years where we haven't seen much price movement, but a number of years where we've seen 5, 10 cents or more price changes associated with that report, both to the upside and the downside. That's why it's critical that you work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to have your marketing positions in place prior to the release of the report on Tuesday, May 12th. Let's shift gears now and look at planting progress here in the U.S. Now, nationwide planting as of Sunday, May 3rd, 38%. Notice that's right in line with last year, slightly above the 5-year average. We've highlighted a couple areas here that are advancing rapidly: Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and also Minnesota. Let's now take a look at the history of the price of the planting progress here in the U.S. Again, looking at the last 5 years here, we want to highlight now, on average, approximately 36% of the U.S. corn is planted between May 3rd and May 17th. So, weather permitting, we'll be approaching 75% by the middle of May. Speaking of the weather, let's take a look at the short-term trends. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm weather. Starting out here, we're looking at a continuation of cool temperatures. In those darker blue areas, moderately cooler than normal, lighter blue areas, slightly cooler than normal, over the next 7 days. Let's now take a look at rainfall. Rainfall into Wednesday, May 6th. Heaviest rainfall in the southeast, a ½ inch to 1.5 inches. Lighter amounts in that light green area, maybe only 0.2 to 0.8. Let's now switch gears into next week, May 12th through the 17th. Now we're looking at a drying pattern up in the northern plains. As we move further south and east, it's going to be wet again, maybe across that area. So kind of a divergence setting up for the middle of the month. You can see that pattern emerge here over the next 2 weeks. Again, primarily in that northern plains is going to be dry, also in parts of Nebraska and Kansas, drier than normal. Mostly normal across the heart of the Corn Belt and a bit wet in the eastern Corn Belt. Let's shift gears now and focus on crop progress in Brazil. Now, the second crop corn in Brazil is filling grain now. It's looking at approaching 40% of the crop is filling grain. Of course, combined filling grain and soaking, we're approaching 80%. So critical time here for yield determination. With that in mind, let's take a look at precip the next 2 weeks. The dry pattern is set in, as you can see. We've highlighted 3 states here. They're a little bit further behind in maturity. That crop will be looking for some more rainfall to maximize yields. Let's shift gears now and focus on export trends here in the U.S. Again, a record export pace here in the U.S. With the record pace, ATI has increased its annual forecast 30 million bushels to a record 3.35 billion. Let's wrap things up this week looking at trends in December corn. December corn has rebounded here to near $5 bushel. Notice that possibility for increased price volatility all the way into harvest. That's why it's critical that you continue to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to manage price movement and avoid price prediction. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 309-664-2300. We'll put you in contact with our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss an update. And also remember to check out our video after the USDA report on Tuesday, May 12th for detailed market analysis. This video will post around 2 p.m. Central Time.